Yeah, wonderful. But you need to connect the mic. It's not working. Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's good to be back at the Seal, even though it's virtually. I first did an open mic night here about 4 years ago. I mean, not here in my living room, but at the actual pub. And I don't know if any of you remember, if you were there, that I got really badly heckled by this guy. But I don't know if there's any truth in the rumour, but I sort of heard that he died, and it was of natural causes. Yeah, because my friends, I said, "Oh, you're really brave doing stand-up comedy, Helen." I said, "Yeah, but come on, I used to teach maths to teenagers." Oh, sorry, why I'm choking on that. And that is only water. Yeah, and yeah, so I used to teach maths to teenagers. So if you can do that, you can do anything, can't you? And I sort of took a plunge one evening. I went down to their open mic night. It was down at the Black Horse in Climping before it shut down. I had nothing to do with that either. And I thought, well, I'll just give it a go. Nobody laughs, doesn't matter. I never have to see any of them again. I still kept going anyway. Can't get rid of me now. And but I feel very blessed actually, because although to an outside observer my life might look pretty tragic, it does actually provide me with a lot of comedy material. Because I've got a dead ex-husband, natural causes of course, and his Russian wife that ran off with all his money, and my interesting dating life, including a man who's been in love with me for 27 years, and he keeps appearing in my life and disappearing again. Some of you might remember him, the pilot. Well, more on him later. Yes, so I used to be a maths teacher, and I know what you're all thinking. Gosh, Helen, you're far too fabulous to be a maths teacher. And you'd be right, because I only did it full time for 3 years. And while we were doing our teacher training, we had to have this lecture on safeguarding, and they told us all the things that we weren't allowed to do to the kids. So they told us things like we weren't allowed to hit them, punch them, spit on them, poke them in the eye with sharp objects, strangle them, punch them, slap them, pin them down to the ground, lock them in the cupboard, push them out the window, hang them from the ceiling, push them down the stairs, tie them to their chair. And on this went for about 20 minutes. And at the end, I turned around, I said to my friend, well, at least he didn't say we couldn't shoot them. Because when I started teaching, it was quite scary really, because some of the kids were huge. And I think it must be all the additives and GMOs and stuff they put in food these days. And there was one of these, they were like mutants. And one of these girls, she was standing in front of the door of my classroom one day. So I couldn't get out. And so she said, come on then, miss, what are you going to do? You're going to hit me? I said, look, Sarah, it's not her real name, by the way, in case you're thinking of suing. I said, look, Sarah, you know that I'm not allowed to do that. I've gone and left my gun in the locker, haven't I? Well, anyway, as I said, I didn't stay at that school for very long. And this girl, she had an identical twin sister. And on my last day working at that school, I happened to be doing a duty on the gate. And twin sister came striding across the playground. And as she walked past me, I'm not sure if I'm allowed to swear on Facebook, but so I won't. She said, F off, you effing F. Can't do anything now, miss. It's the school holidays. Oh no? Well, a couple of months later, I heard on the local news that she died. It was of natural causes. Yeah, so as I say, I'm very blessed to have all this, this rich comedy-filled life. And so when I went to my first open mic night back in the day, whenever it was, as I say, that this guy who's been in love with me for like 27 years, and he just recently come back into my life, and we'd gone out on a few dates, and it seemed to be going pretty well. Because one evening we were snogging like a couple of teenagers, and he said to me, "You know what, Helen? I've never kissed a maths teacher before." So I said, "Oh, sorry." Can't say the same about pilots or aircraft engineers, air traffic controllers, flight attendants, check-in clerks, baggage handlers, customs officials, security guards, the guy that drives the little truck on the runway, the one that waves the flags, the ones that bring the meals on the plane, and the guys that come and empty the toilets. Oh, and the boy who worked in WH Smith's in the terminal. Yeah, so as I said, I thought it was going pretty well. Then one day he disappeared, but he didn't just do the usual man thing of going into his cave. Oh no, he did it in style. He went potholing. And so I thought, poof, that's the end of him. So fast forward a few years, and a couple of months ago, he got back in touch. And 3 years, 327 days after our third date, he asked me out on the fourth, which he then cancelled. So you know what they say about men being like buses, you know, you wait for ages and then 3 come along at once. Well, in my case, they seem to be more like Southern Rail. But it's never a dull moment, because it's like every time if he sends me a text and then I reply, it's like, oh, it's like then the fun starts. It's like, how long is it going to be before I get a reply back from him? Is it going to be 4 seconds, 4 hours, 4 days, or 4 years? I've currently got a note in my calendar for the 29th of December 2024, just so I don't forget. Yeah, you guessed it. He went potholing again. It makes you wonder how he ever manages to get his plane off the ground. So, ladies and gents, now I know what you're all thinking, because I'm pretty good at reading minds and doing psychic stuff like that. I know what you're all thinking. You all thought I made him up, didn't you? Yeah, you did. I know you did. Well, there's another twist in the tale, because I also discovered recently that he's been along to some of Sedge and John's open mic nights. But don't worry, I'm not going to embarrass the poor guy. I'm not going to reveal his identity. But rest assured, you don't need to worry, because I'm sure before long, in the obituary section of the Bognor Regis Gazette or the Chichester Observer, you'll be seeing the pilot, cause of death. Guessed it? Natural causes. So that's the end of my set for tonight. You have got about 5 minutes now for a commercial break, so I don't know what John and Sedge do in those kind of things. Well, I could do a little commercial for next month's show, whatever you want to call it. I don't know what you call it when you're doing it on a laptop. I don't know. Ooh, you know what I mean? I mean, doing comedy on a laptop. Yes, so so next month I think I'm going to share some more fun about my dating life and the fun that I've been having with dating apps like Tinder, Bumble, Hinge, Twitter, LinkedIn. Yes, I think I'll be sharing some of my stories from the world of online dating. And it will also be coming up to Valentine's Day as well. It's the 14th today, so it won't be the 14th of February, but yes. Anyway, that's me all done for tonight. I'm just going to stand here for a minute and just imagine that you're all clapping. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I love you all. I love you all. And I'll see you very soon when all this kind of stuff's over and I'll be on live at the Apollo. So up next, we have the very talented, the delectable, delicious Julian Taylor. And he has come to be with us virtually in Selsey, which is, and for any of you, because I guess I know I've invited people to watch this from all over the world, and you won't know where Selsey is. Well, you could just imagine that it's like a pimple on the bottom of England, and then Selsey's at the bottom there. And that's where this open mic night would normally be held. And so Julian has come all the way from Devon, Exeter and Devon, down in the southwest of England, to join us virtually down on the south coast of West Sussex. So you've been a marvellous audience, because you can heckle me all you like and I can't hear you, but I will be seeing what you've written in the comments. I know you will love me, really. I love you too. Mwah.